Hi there, church. I just wanted to take a few moments to give you an update. This is really for anyone who wasn't here this last Sunday, which was Sunday the 6th, 7th, something like that. And obviously you can listen to the whole sermon online as soon as it is online, but I know that a lot of people won't do that, and just wanted to let people know about something important and exciting stuff that's happening for us as a church. First of all, we're going to be spending the whole month of March preaching and talking about community. Again, I did a whole preach around it, but just how important it is that the Christian faith must be a communal faith. It must be a community-based faith. If we literally just turn up on Sundays and we get the teaching we need and we get to do some kind of worship that makes us feel closer to God, and it stops there, we don't build real relationships through kind of church and within kind of the whole context of doing our lives with other believers, then it's just that's not the way Jesus designed it, and it's certainly not the way the New Testament church did it as an example to us all. And so basically what we're going to do, we're going to spend a bit of time this month teaching about it, preaching about it, but we're also going to introduce some stuff that is going to help us, help us along the way. Obviously we have our interest groups. It's great to see a couple of interest groups kind of kicking off. A new golfing group where you don't actually have to be any good at golf to go, which is fantastic. Chris Parker's got more details there. It's in Light News as well. So interest groups are going to carry on. A great place to kind of build some kind of community, and that's all really, really, really good. We're also going to do the odd social as well, kind of whole church-wide socials. We've got some ideas around what we want to do there to give more opportunity for people to hang out together. But then also probably the main thing I talked about on Sunday was we have definitely made the decision that we need to kind of really invest some time and some energy in getting small groups, which in the light context are going to be called light groups, not life groups, light groups, and really kind of basically kind of getting them up and running to help build the community that is going to be so important for us. You know, as a church, you've probably noticed we're growing and growing and growing, which is, hey, that's great. God does what God wants to do. You know, all we do is plant the seed and water it. God makes anything grow. But you know, the reality is that as you get over a certain number of people, it is just harder and harder to basically kind of get to talk to one another. The more people that are there, the less likely you are to talk to the same person one week after the next. The more people that are there, the less time you spend talking to individual people. It's all a lot harder to build decent relationships, particularly on a Sunday morning. And so we realise that we need to kind of be a bit intentional about how we build those relationships, and through these light groups is where it's going to be. These light groups are going to be starting probably after the Easter holidays, and effectively they are going to be places. I mean, I talked a little bit about the challenges that every church faces in running small groups. And let's face it, we've all probably been to a rubbish small group, but hopefully we've all been to a really positive small group as well. I know I certainly have. Hugely influential at different points of my faith as a Christian. Just, have a massive impact. The challenges, of course, are making sure that they are great places. They're places where we can have decent Bible study, where we can build proper relationships, where we can be there for one another. That's kind of the thing we're looking for. A place where we can come together, we can spur one another on, we can challenge one another, we can encourage one another, we can build relationship, we can help each other grapple with whatever is talked about on a Sunday or whatever other issues are going on in lives. We can be there as a natural family and a natural support for one another. And the truth is, if we don't do this, as we carry on growing as a church, we'll just end up as a bunch of random individuals that turn up on a Sunday morning. And that is not what church is about. Church is about doing life together, being community together, and through those communities and out of those communities and out of those relationships, hopefully coming out with a hot passion for our amazing God that makes us want to go and make a difference in this world and bring glory to His name. So basically, kind of that's kind of what we're talking about. We're going to keep preaching about community. Josie's going to be preaching next week, Ollie the week after, and then hopefully at the end of March we're going to have a load more information to let you know about light groups and about how you can get involved. And we're excited about you getting involved because through the latest church survey we've seen that actually I think it was almost 9 out of 10 people said they either would love to go to a small group or they would definitely give it a try and see if it worked for them. that's an overwhelming number of people, and so we're going to get ourselves set up, we're going to get ourselves ready so that anybody and everybody can join in with that. One of the other things, you may have heard about connect groups and stuff like that in the past, and there's one connect group which is Phil and Penny's. That's going to be renamed back to be a light group. Sorry about all the faff. But we are going to also be running a connect group. A connect group is going to be a 6-week rolling kind of group, as it were, where we're going to go through some of the key values of the church. And this is going to be specifically for new people who come into church and maybe want to find out a bit more about what does this church stand for. And so that's going to be a connect group that initially is going to be run by me and Josie. But one of the things that we thought, and this is actually even since yesterday morning, was what we were probably going to do is every light group is going to start off by going through the material that we're going to go through in a connect group, basically taking into account that loads of people joining light groups haven't been through that kind of process, haven't necessarily been through all the foundational teaching and preaching that we did within the church. So we all kind of have a really good kind of strong start together. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say. We know the challenges. We know that running small groups is really challenging. We know they can be really great. We know they can also be dire. Now we, as a leadership team, we're committing ourselves, and particularly obviously through the work that Gareth is going to do when he comes on board, we commit ourselves to make sure that our small group structure is going to be full of life, is going to be really kind of full of purpose, full of friendship, full of relationship, going to be really great and really, really positive experience in addition to the whole life of everything that we are as a church, which needs to be so much more than Sunday mornings. Although, let's face it, Sunday mornings are pretty amazing at the light. I love them to bits. Okay, any questions, as always, get back to me. I hope you found this kind of useful and helpful if you weren't there on Sunday. See ya.